April Fools. It's April Fool's Day. Did you know that? It's the first day of April. It's a new month. I can't barely believe it. I don't like starting a new month without my class. This just seems so weird. But here we are. And so today I want to read you a special book for April Fools. I want to read you The April Fool's Treasure Hunt. Have you ever gone on a treasure hunt? Sounds pretty cool. Let's see what the book is about, shall we? By Susanna Leonard Hill, illustrated by Jeffrey Ebler. Phyllis knew everything about the weather. After all, she was Punxsutawney Phyllis, weather prophet extraordinaire. So, when she woke up on April 1st, the day of the spring treasure hunt, it took only one whiff of the morning air to tell her something wasn't right. We have to cancel the treasure hunt, she announced at breakfast. There's a blizzard coming. Everyone was stunned. Do you know what a blizzard is? It is the dessert you can get at Dairy Queen, but it also means that there's going to be lots and lots of snow. A blizzard, said Uncle Phil, in April? Then Phil Jr. started to laugh. You actually had me fooled for a second, he said. Yeah, Phyllis snickered. Not a bad joke. This isn't an April Fool's joke, insisted Phyllis, but no one paid any attention. Aunt Patsy flooded her pancakes with homemade maple syrup and passed the jug to an old grandfather groundhog. Ooh, that looks like good syrup. What a great year for syrup, he said. I can't remember a year when the sap has run this long. That's because winter isn't over, said Phyllis. I'm telling you, we're going to have a blizzard today. Give up, Phyllis, said Pete. If folks don't listen, Phyllis said, they'll be in danger when the blizzard comes. Can blizzards be dangerous? Sure. A bit later, Phil Jr. came in from outside. Phyllis was right, he said. It's freezing. He held out his paws to Aunt Patsy. They're like icicles, he exclaimed. We can't have the treasure hunt if it's this cold. I told you, began Phyllis. April Fool, shouted Phil. I used a bag of ice to make my paws cold. Very funny, said Phyllis, but everyone else laughed. A few minutes later, Pete yelled right down from the mouth of the burrow. Phyllis really was right, it's snowing! Everyone rushed up to the tunnel. Sure enough, a curtain of fat white flakes drifted across the opening. Oh my, exclaimed Aunt Sassy. April Fool, shouted Pete. It's only confetti. Make all your jokes, said Phyllis. Just cancel the treasure hunt and no one will get lost in the snow. But nobody listened. All the grown-ups sat out in the sun outside the burrow to swap tall tales and sent the youngsters off on their treasure hunt. Said Phyllis, reading the first clue. Treasure hunt. What goes up in the morning and down at night? Do you know the answer? Goes up in the morning and down at night. The sun, guessed Cousin Jill. We can't go to the sun for the next clue, said Phil Jr. Uncle Phil's trousers, suggested Pete. All the little groundhogs giggled. They raced over to Uncle Phil and felt his pockets, but there was nothing in there. There must be something else, said Jill. How about the thermometer, suggested Phyllis. They hurried to the thermometer by the door of the sugar house. Inside, the big kettle still filled the air with sweet maple steam, even though it was April. Ooh, it's nice and warm in here, said Cousin Willis. No one noticed that the thermometer had dropped below 30 degrees. That means, is it hot or cold? That means it's cold, that's right. All they saw was a second clue. What does this one say? Demanded Phil Jr. It read, what runs but has no legs? You know? A clock, said Pete. But the third clue was nowhere near the grandfather clock. An engine, said Phil Jr., but no one knew of any engines around where they lived. I know, said Willis, the stream. And they all rushed down to the stream. There was a clue, number 3. The young groundhogs followed the clues farther and farther to the tree house, to the blackberry patch, and to the shore of Puxawary Pond. This must be the last one, Phyllis said. She brushed snowflakes out of her eyes to read it. What's sticky and sweet and found in a tree? There they are. Do they notice what's coming? What do you see? Snow. That's easy, said Jill, and they all dashed for the honey tree. There it is, shouted Willis, jumping up and down. What do you think it'll be? Phil Jr. asked as he lifted the lid. It was another note. Treasure hunt. April Fool, you win but lose. Look again at all your clues. They can all be solved, you see, with another answer. And it's me. I don't get it, said Pete. Phyllis explained. It means that there's one thing that's the answer to all of these clues. But right now we have a bigger problem. It's snowing. It was a problem indeed, falling thick and thick and fast, making it impossible to see more than a few feet in any direction. How will we find our way home? Worried Willis. Phyllis looked at the little groundhogs. They were depending on her to get them home safely. How was she going to do it? All Phyllis could see was swirling white and something flapping in the wind against a nearby sugar maple. The sap line! That's it, she cried. Everyone, stay with me. The groundhogs clung to the sap line. Phyllis led the way from the maple tree to maple tree, all the way back to the sugar house. Thank goodness you're back, cried Aunt Patsy. We should have known you were right about the blizzard. Can you see him? Said Uncle Phil. Looks like we're the April Fools. All's well that ends well, said Aunt Sassy. But we never solved the treasure hunt, said Phil Jr. Here they come. Yes, we did, Phyllis said triumphantly. What goes up and down in the morning goes up in the morning and down at night. What runs but has no legs. What's sticky and sweet and found in a tree? Sap. The treasure is right here. Sure enough, in the back corner of the sugar house was another treasure chest. Phyllis lifted the lid eagerly. It was empty, she cried. What? All the groundhogs crowded to look in. April Fool, shouted Phyllis, and she tossed handfuls of maple candy in the air for everyone to share. Yummy. Okay, so today I want you to think of a silly joke you could play on somebody for April Fools. Like, I don't know, something silly like telling someone there's a bird on their head like I did to you. Or changing the clocks and making it later than it's supposed to be or earlier than it's supposed to be. You know, something just silly. So I want you to write one sentence about something that you could do for April Fools. Like, I could fill my cereal box with confetti. I don't know. Something like that. So that when they pour it out, it's just confetti comes out instead of cereal. Something silly like that. Okay? So think of something that you could do that was just kind of silly like that and write a sentence about it. Yesterday, you sent in your ick words. Brick. Read these with me. Crick. Qua-ick. Trick. Ch-ick. K-ick. Kick. W-ick. Wick. S-ick. Sick. M-ick. Mick. P-ick. Pick. Lick. Lick. know that I-C-K says ick. So we're gonna add to our chart. You have 3 words from yesterday on your chart. Today I want you to add another one. So here is the word. Are you ready? Get your chart out. Press pause if you don't have it. Grab it. In A1, I want you to write the word lick. Lick. It's one of our ick words. Okay, I got one more word for you today. Ready? In D2, I want you to write the word thick. Okay. Those are the 2 words I want you to write today. Save your chart. We're going to go all the way to the end of the week. Make sure you are keeping track of all your words. Okay, last thing we're going to do is we're going to run through our letters and sounds. You're going to do it with me, and we're going to click. I want you to go fast. Okay, if you don't get it by the time I switch to the next card, we're not going fast enough. We need to get these down quick. All right, are we ready? Letter, sound, and action, please. Here we go. M says W-H says W, B says B. Very good. U letter stinking E, E-W-U-E says you. A says A, F says F, O says E says E, G says G. I letter stinking E, I-G-H, I-E. Words that end with Y says ah. E-E-E-A. Words that end with Y. I-E says E. Y says ya. O letter stinking E, O-A, O-W, O-E, O-L says O. H says H. N says N. C says K. K says K. U says R says R. S says S. A-R says R. L says L. I says I. O-U letter stinking E. E-W-U-I says ooh. W says W. U-R-E-R-I-R says T-H says O-I-O-Y says oi. D says D. O-R says or. J says J. Z says Z. Q says qua. X says X. V says V. S-H says sh. T says t. A-I-A letter stinking E. A-Y says A. P says P. C-H says ch. O-W-O-U says ow. Very good. We did it. All right, very good. All right, I can't wait to see your sentences. See you tomorrow.